Yeah.
Shaq Thompson for a 3-yard loss. Shaq busting through. My goodness. And what we see is no turning offense coming to fruition because Cam is actually a pocket quarterback. Who knew? Oh my goodness. Tackle for Camry. Busting through for 30, 35, 40. Foot race down the right side. Here he goes at the 50, 40 to the Miami 30, 20 at the 10. A swipe of the ankles. They can't get him. Touchdown, Christian McCaffrey. They can't get him. They can't get him.
They can't get him. They can't catch us. They can't catch us in the fourth quarter. That's right. The Panthers, in a typical cardiac cat fashion, win. We've tied the comeback record for the Panthers today. We crushed the fourth quarter record for a comeback, and the Panthers come back from 17 down in difficult conditions, playing against the world champions, to come back for victory. Yeah! Oh, man, I've been saving it up. Guys, this is the C3 Panthers at Eagles postgame show hosted by CarolinaCatChronicles.com.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the latest game, the immediate news following that game, and man, the feelings, the range of emotions that go from a game that at some point many people thought we were out of, and then at the end we pull it out. I'm here today with Joe Riolano to do that and to celebrate. How you doing, that freaking Puerto Rican? Joe is missing. Going to Cody Lashney. What's up? He had a heart attack.
Yeah, oh God, don't say that. Listen, man, the last thing that I expected to do was to come on here on this after game show and look at all the people in the chat and tell you that the Panthers pulled it off, baby. We did it. I even put on Twitter, I had no faith that the team would do it. And boy, did they shut my ass up. The Panthers are 4-2. We did what we had to do, and damn it, it feels so good, man. There's a lot of stuff to love, a lot of stuff to not love, but right now I'm not doing anything other than feel good and hit the praises on my Panthers, baby. Let's do it.
The calls are flooding in. We're going to be featuring your calls on this show because this is the post-game show that we're going to let you control the conversation where we go with it. The number is 252-228-5098. And there's like a background party at Joe's house right now. They're celebrating. So, guys, the number is 252-228-5098. And let's just to get into this for a second, Cody. To me, this is a typical cardiac cats win. We got to do it at the end. We've got to do it in grand fashion. But you were saying before we went on the air that this also had a remake, the remakings of last week.
Yeah, it was like Washington all over again, man. We're on the road. You know, nothing is going our way, man. We can't do anything that's characteristic of the Panthers. We can't stop the run. We can't move the ball downfield. Cam is missing some throws, but at the same time, our offensive line is doing him no favors. Our left tackle is getting beat. There's a lot of just bad offensive line play. Dropped passes by Devin Funchess. And then all of a sudden, man, it's just like, I don't know what happened at halftime, but it's almost like they thought back to that game last Sunday, and they said, you know what, we're not letting this happen 2 weeks in a row. I honestly feel that loss against the Redskins, it helped their mentality to be the better football team at the end of the game today.
That's a tough place to go and do that, right? To get punched in the mouth and beat up early on in that game, to come out of that locker room, to have enough intensity, to maintain through a couple of more body blows in the third quarter. You come out there, the team still believes that they can get it done. They're rocking and rolling down the field. To me, this tells me two things that I think need to be important storylines coming out of this game. Is one, the toughness potentially of this team. We got to see the first look to see if there was some real deep down toughness that you're going to need for sustained winning. And second, that you get the mental fortitude of Cam Newton to lead us through this charge.
And I honestly do think that we had some things go our way. But listen, I said after the Giants game that we didn't deserve to win that, even though we did. This is the polar opposite, man. We pulled this out of the depths of hell, man. We came back from a game that seemed too far gone for us to be able to do anything on Twitter, on Reddit. Everyone was negative. I was negative. I was putting gasoline on that fire, man. But the way that we just pulled that out, we said we are not leaving Philadelphia without a victory today. And, man, this team they willed it into existence. Absolutely.
Joe Riolano, have you installed your ceiling fan?
Getting there.
Okay. The team showed a lot of mental toughness. I think one thing about Cam Newton here, Joey, that's been amazing is that we know how emotional he can be as a player, and how those emotions he can either ride them high or sometimes get stuck in the trough. This season, I've seen Cam Newton not have everything go his way, but not fall apart at the end, despite having 2 back-to-back terrible throws. He comes back on 4th down and gets it done. So those are things that could have broken potentially Cam Newton early in his career, Joey. Have you been able to see any of that yourself?
Yes. Cam has been able to. I think he still gets to where he feels frustrated and aggravated. I think he's gotten to a point where he doesn't show it anymore. I think he still feels it, but he's matured enough to where he doesn't let his teammates see it. He holds it within himself and gets angry, and he's thinking, why didn't he catch that ball? But he doesn't exhibit the emotions as he did before with the towel over the head. And all the other immature things we used to see him do. I think we've seen Cam grow. And today, more than any time before, I think we saw it. Because in the fourth quarter, when he took over and they started that first drive, he got into his zone. And he made, you remember he made 3 consecutive poor throws, and then it was 4th and 10.
Yeah.
You remember that? Well, he made 3 consecutive throws, misses, just complete and total whiffs. And then that throw he threw on 4th down where he jumped up in the air, and it was all arm.
Yeah.
And he just managed to get it. That, I think then, at that moment, he's like, okay, we can do this. And it was enough to carry them through to the win.
Yeah, 100%. And that throw that he made in the air on that pass that he made, all arm talent. I mean, listen, everyone likes to put it on Cam when he misses the throws, but damn it, the throw that he did make saved the game. And Torrey Smith made a great catch. And, man, how awesome is that for Torrey Smith? Also, he was at the Philadelphia Eagles. That's where he was playing. We bring him over here, and he makes the catch and the play that ends up saving the whole game for us. Yeah. I mean, that was absolutely incredible by all the guys. That last drive, I mean, look how many people got involved. Greg Olsen with the touchdown pass, Cam Newton on 4th down throwing the ball, Christian McCaffrey being that reliable check down option. Everything just went our way, man. Everything did.
How lucky are we that we have Christian McCaffrey as a check down option?
He has been amazing. He has been amazing. All right, the stats on the day: 25 for 39. Cam Newton, 269 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 7 rushes, 7 carries for 49 yards. Christian McCaffrey only 7 for 29 on the day, but he did register 51 receiving yards. Funchess, leading receiver at 6 for 62. Guys, we've got a ton to talk about still, but we want to feature your calls. I'm going to go ahead and just start jumping into the calls, guys. They're flying in. The number is 252-228-5098. I'm pretty sure this is longtime caller Black Cat right here.
What is going on, guys? This your boy, the Black Cat, Brandon Herbert, and I'm mixed emotions so much right now. Like, that was a hell of a win. A hell of a win. Did not think we were going to come back, but I noticed something, and this is like, I'm still on the fire right there.
Cam Newton is amazing.
It's no way. Like, every game that we've played so far, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but each half has looked like a totally different team.
Yeah,
and it's no excuse for that. Your defense should not look like that. The defense has looked a lot better in the second half, but still, your defense should never look like that. Wrong there, and you say what you want. I am done. D-O-N-E with James Bradbury. You can call him a good cornerback. I don't care. I don't know if y'all are looking at him to think that he's a good cornerback. Hell, he really almost cost us the game if he didn't pass interference.
Well, he actually
like,
saved
I
us
am
the
done
game
with him. I am like, he, out of every Carolina Panther fan or Carolina Panther player or whatever, he is the worst one that I hate. Like, I promise you, I just don't know
this is the worst
how y'all can't see that. Like, he's not good at all. And of course,
terrible.
Shaq Thompson too. Shaq Thompson is freaking, I don't even know. He's a bust. He's a bust. So Bradbury and him was a bust. But got to give credit to Cam Newton. I was very critical of him early on, the way that he started, but he really, really did look a lot better in the second half. And what they did in the second half, if y'all didn't notice, they put the actual weapons in. Like, DJ Moore got in on a couple plays, Curtis Samuel got in on a couple plays,
Torrey Smith got in on a couple plays.
That had I did not think that was going to happen.
Devin Funchess got in on a couple plays.
I'll see y'all Tuesday. Talk to y'all Tuesday, and y'all keep pounding.
All right, that's Black Cat there. Let's go ahead and respond to this because I'm sure there will be plenty of Ron Rivera talk to come. Let's focus on this 2 teams, 2 halves. Panthers have struggled at times and come out. One of the things in the past, we've always said that our team really failed to make adjustments. And a continued conversation about Norv Turner and the offense related to Mike Shula, guys. A lot of people have said this has been the same offense. But maybe one of those things that maybe if you look from not from a philosophical point, but to how Norv Turner is just a different coach in general, maybe you could say, hey, we're drawing up and making some adjustments mid-game that are maybe putting us over the hump. But, guys, that defense, it wasn't particularly great in the first half. It did carry us. It did get us out of some jams late in the game, though. So I'll start with Cody. The tale of 2 halves, the tale of 2 teams. Do you see it, what Brandon is talking about?
Yeah, and we did a role reversal. So we started off the season being dominant in the first half, and then the second half just disappearing. But and I think it correlates to how much points we have on the board. If we go into halftime and we're winning the football game, we take our foot off the gas 100%. But when we have to play from behind, that's when you see what our playbook actually has in it. And I want to make a note of saying something because I have my TV on next to me and I'm watching some of the recaps. Guys, guess what? We threw the ball over 20 yards on a play. And if you notice, we did that a few times and we're able to move the ball. I think that is the key to us continuing to be a dominant offense moving forward. And listen, as far as the Bradbury thing is concerned, I don't know. Listen, man, I'm not as sour as Brandon is on Bradbury. I get it, man. He made some bad plays. He got juked out of his shoes one or two different times. But listen, man, we could have a lot worse at the position. And I don't want to make an excuse for the man, but I'm not at the point to say that James Bradbury is a liability on our defense, because I don't believe that he is.
J-Dub reminds in the chat room, what's up, J-Dub? Not a tale of two halves. It's a tale of 3 quarters and 1 quarter, as we only played 1 good quarter. Hey, you're right about that. I do. My theory on Bradbury, I lean towards where you're at, Cody, is like, I mean, we can dog on him, but who you going to put in his place? And he's okay. That's what I would say. He's okay. He does tend to be the victim of a lot of plays at times, though.
Yeah, it does seem to be on him a lot.
So I do think that Brandon's right that we can't be saying he's good, right? But yeah. I don't know if saying he's trash is required.
Right.
All right, next call. Killer Cam! Killer Cam. I know what that is. Yeah, Cameron. All right, thank you. There we go. Killer Cam. Look, let's just say this is Cam Newton. You saw the best of him today and the not best of him at times. Under duress a lot, wouldn't you say, Cody?
Yeah, under duress a lot. And listen, guys, I wanted to say something. I was going to save it for the Tuesday show, but I'll say it a little bit now. Guys, we might want Matt Khalil to come back.
No!
Listen, dude. Okay, hear me out, everyone. Because, listen, my mouth tastes like vomit a little bit, even saying that. But I need you to hear me out, okay? I have watched 8 quarters now of Chris Clark being beaten consistently on almost every play. I mean, he did okay for a while. He came in and did the job. But listen, I think if it's Matt Khalil or if it's Chris Clark, the left tackle position is a problem right now. And I know a lot of you hate Matt Khalil, but I'm saying Chris Clark for 4 quarters has been beaten consistently off the left side. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at what's been put on the field.
Bobby Blue says Ron Rivera owes Cam Newton some money for saving his job over and over again. This line, it was a tough match for them today, but they played all right. So the line did not play like well today, and by any stretch, like you're gonna say, hey, here's a game that I want to say a team should replicate in offensive line play. But going against that defensive line to, at the end, just give us enough, just a little bit. It's just we played good enough to win against a really good team, I think. And in some ways, imagine what Philadelphia fans are saying right now, Cody, as we celebrate this, and they are dealing with a blown fourth quarter 17-point lead and on the doorstep. Oh, this is what we really need to talk about. That was an interception. Eric Reed intercepted the ball. You cannot overturn that. They called it an interception, Cody, and at the end, they overturned the call. They did not say that the ruling is being overturned. They said the ruling on the field is incomplete catch. I think they got it wrong. I think that should have been game over.
And here's the deal. Okay, was there enough evidence to overturn it?
That's right.
Okay. How many times have we been a victim of the play where, oh, it should have went the other way, but there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. Listen, the game should have ended right there. I do agree that it shouldn't have overturned it. But you know what, Tony? I'm actually glad that it went that way, because it meant that our defense had to get back in the game. They had to prepare themselves, and they had to make that stop. I love it, though. We've talked about the offense. We have not given enough credit to this defense, and this is a defense that we have been very hard on for a lot of different reasons. I think it's important to say that this defense, when we needed them the most, stepped up and made sure that we walked out of Philadelphia with a W, man. Our defense deserves the credit that they earned at the end of the fourth quarter.
You know who did it for us, man? Is the one guy we needed to do this for us. We've been saying it the last couple of weeks. Luke Kuechly.
Luke is
Kuechly.
Still the man.
The wild eyes. Did you see the wild eye look after he made that sack? They caught. I mean, I'm glad. That's the one thing, is that if they did not rule that a sack and they ruled an incomplete pass, they should have come out and thrown the grounding flag too, because sometimes you can see. But Luke Kuechly, wild-eyed Luke Kuechly comes in. We need it. This is what we said. What I've said for weeks now is that it's not about Luke Kuechly playing good or bad. It's about we do well when he plays great and makes game-changing plays. He did that today. And I think Eric Reed was out there throwing his body around. He was playing hard. Cody, any insight, any thoughts on what the heck was going down early in this game where these teams were back and forth, yammering and yabbering, and Reed is out there at the heart of it?
Right, so this is what I know. He was beefing with Malcolm Jenkins, and Malcolm Jenkins is one of the players that works with the NFLPA in regards to like their social justice and the things that they're doing. And again, I don't know, this is my speculation, but Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reed separated from that group of players that was also represented by Malcolm Jenkins, and they said, no, we're going to do our own thing. So it does seem like there was some bad blood between them about some differences of issues that kind of converged on the field, man. And I was on Twitter, even after the down was done, Eric would be in the middle of the field staring him down while Malcolm was on the sideline, man. Like, Eric wanted that smoke. I mean, he was pissed off, playing, amped up, and man, at the end of the game, though, he turned it on.
You just gotta imagine he probably called him an Uncle Tom. It's probably what he called Jenkins.
Oh yeah,
set it off.
COON, all that crap.
Let's get back to these calls. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's you come on, go ahead. You pick up the phone right now. Tell us how you're feeling after this 21-17 win, the fourth quarter comeback. The Cardiac Cats. Here we go.
Hey y'all, what's up? This is G Cavassier.
So
hey,
G.
man, just finished watching the game. What a damn game. Oh my God.
Hell
man.
Yeah.
Came back from a 17-point deficit. Come on now, man. And hats off to Torrey Smith, man. Hats off to him,
That's
man.
right.
Hats off to that damn brother, man. All I gotta say is 4-2. It feels good. Keep pounding.
Pass the Cavassier.
That's right. Torrey Smith does get in there and have himself, I think, a good game. We continue to see this, that Torrey Smith, though, has shown his value to this team in the last 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
What up, C3? Is your boy Tizzy? Just leaving the stadium. All I gotta say is keep fucking pounding.
Hell yeah.
That's Ted Tizzy from the stadium in Philadelphia. He's there representing, walking out of there excited. That's the C3 fam right there, baby.
10 Tizzy, baby. Hell yeah. Love that man.
That's right. The number's 252-228-5098. We're going to keep going with your calls and your reactions to this game. Let's keep it rolling.
Let's go! It's your boy Norman. I'm calling to tell you, you guys, I was freaking out. It looked like the same exact thing that happened last week. We were down 17 points, And your boy Graham Denome, I guess he got happy after he kicked that 63-yard field goal. This week, he missed the extra point again. It was the same game, 17-6. And I was so worried about our defense, but Eric Reed came through. We made a big-time play, even though they reversed it. That was bull crap. And your boy James Bradbury, even though he gave up that long defensive pass interference, he prevented the touchdown, which was the main thing. That's all I care about. He stayed tight. He kept it together, and we made a big play. So congrats to our defense. Cam Newton kept his composure and made pocket accuracy passes. Didn't do anything crazy. So good team win. Keep pounding. Let's go.
What a call right there. That covers the whole arc of things. Going back, though, there's a lot of chat in the chat room about the defense, about Eric Washington. Cody, our defense was really having trouble stopping the run. Smallwood may well have been Marshall Faulk out there just eating us up. I think we gave up. Smallwood only had 9 carries for 32 yards. He must have had, yeah, so maybe we weren't giving. I felt like we just gave up some timely runs.
Well, he made the play when it mattered, okay? There were plays when Smallwood had a very big wood, if you know what I mean, all right? He brought it, all right? But listen, this defense, you know, and I think that we've already said it, but they have yet to play 4 quarters of dominant football if you exclude Dallas. But, I mean, it's moments like that. Our defense now know what they're made of. After the end of that football game and they were able to win the game for us and do what they needed to do, that defense should feel better now than ever before. They did the job, man. It's like if we want to call them out when they do bad, then we also have to give them praise when they essentially win the game for us at the very end.
There is something concerning there, Cody. And that is Mario Addison goes down in this game early with an injury. He seemed to be in pain when he did come back out and play. And I want to say later in the game, we started to see Julius Peppers on the right side, Horton in on the left, making that. I guess we'll have to go back and really look the tape to see how much it was just Mario Addison getting breathers and how much this is potentially injured or related to an injury. Looked like it was something like a lower back injury, hip, or something like that. That's what I was could tell from that. But Mario Addison has been he's got 3 sacks on the season on a defensive line that has failed to produce a lot of statistics just yet. That could be a tough loss.
Yeah, and listen, I want to shout out J-Dub, long-time C3 alumni at this point. 17 points isn't bad against Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, now in hindsight, you know, we see everything that they've done, but 17 points isn't that bad, you know? I mean, it could have been a lot worse. And Tony, tell me if you think I'm wrong here. I felt early in the game that it was about to get nasty for us. I felt like they were getting ready to drop like a 30 or 40 bomb on us. I mean, it did not feel good early. But, man, our defense held, man.
Here's the problem with the defense is that the defense, again, what they do is they did not give up a ton of points. I mean, you know what I mean? I wonder if we go back and look, I feel like our team has put up – we've been in games, right? That's what we said last week and the week before. The defense has not won these games for us, but they have kept us in and put us in positions to win. The problem with today's defense for those first 3 quarters is it just seemed like they did whatever they wanted whenever they wanted. Yeah, the Eagles they called a pass play, they got a completion. They called a running play, they got positive yards. There were times where we had guys. I felt like we had the box stacked against them. They still get 4 yards. You stack the box against us, and it's a gain. It's like a 1 yard gain. You saw them convert 4th downs. You saw them convert 3rd downs. You saw them go for it on 4th and 1 over and over, 4th and 5. So while the result at the end, this what shows you is that's why you got to play every play. Like you can't just simulate. You don't simulate the game after the first quarter. The defense has not played well. That's for certain. But they have played adequately to win 21-17 on the road.
Yeah, and remember, I said that this was a mirror to last Sunday against Washington, and it was the same thing then too. At the very end of the game, when we needed our defense to step up and make plays, they did that, and they kept us in the game, and they let our offense have the chance to come back and get a W for us. And what didn't happen last Sunday, it did happen today. So it is a good feeling. We have to do things better, but knowing that in that kind of scenario, we can depend on our defense, and our defense knows that they've done it 2 times in a row now. So that's even better for the morale. It's even better going forward. We have to shore up teams burning our zone coverage, because it feels like once they get the hang of us, they just kind of pick us apart, find the right spot, and move the ball. I want to see us man them up more. Play some man. Dare them to make the throw. We just got to break through.
We got to break through on that defensive line. That's what solves that. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be getting easier now that Addison could be dealing with an injury. Peppers is dealing with, I don't know, age. And then Obata and those guys are dealing with inexperience. Obata, inexperience. Horton with just average play. You know what I'm saying? So you might see this. I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers started to look at bringing in, what is his name, Hayes or Haynes?
Haynes.
So to do some things where you can maybe keep some fresher legs in there, try to find a hot hand. We're going to keep pounding through these calls right here.
Yo, this is Lenny Coltrane, man. I wanted to say, first of all, shout out to the best Panthers podcast out there. I couldn't be more proud of my team.
What's up?
I couldn't be more proud of Cam, more proud of the defense. They stepped up when we needed them. Amazing, man. But I got to say this. This game is the microcosm of what the Rivera and Newton era is, man. We call for Rivera's head, rightfully so. We call for Rivera's head. And then Cam comes out there, saves Rivera's ass, and then we move on with our season like nothing happened, man, because we got a W in the column. Forget that. Rivera got to go. I'm tired of it, man. The whole
Amen, man.
Punting those 4th and 1 on the opponent's 30-yard line, that's ridiculous. It got to stop, man. Doug Peterson takes chances, and it pays off for his team.
Yeah.
Rivera's too conservative. I hate it, but it's cool. We got the dub. Shout out to the best Panthers podcast out there. Love.
Word, what a great call there. Going back to this, do wins like this continue to smother what was look, this, to be honest, is that if the Panthers go and lay an egg here, like they look like they were on the road to doing, is that the Rivera, the Ron Rivera momentum of that crowd not only can gain steam, but they gain credibility.
Yeah.
But in this case, 1/4 quarter can completely wash away those sins. Complete forgiveness. Cody, how much could you see something like this? The Panthers going and finding success, piling up some W's to fall short maybe at a 10-6 and not get in at the wild card, or a 9-7 year? Could you see Tepper this early on in his tenure buying into that like it's time to make a wholesale change?
Easily. Wow. I mean, remember, listen, this is a Wall Street man. Okay, this isn't a wait around and see kind of guy. You buy while the buying's hot and you sell when you feel you need to sell. And I'll tell you what I don't want. I either want us to win the Super Bowl or tank. I either want a high draft pick or I want the lowest draft pick. All right,
you're being selfish for your draft prospecting desires.
Yeah, man, a little bit. But listen, though, what I'm saying is I don't want another scenario where we go 11-5, maybe even 12-4, and then miss out right at the end. And Ron Rivera and Marty Herney say, well, look what we're putting on the field. Look how many times we've been in the playoffs the last however many years, you know. I want it to be definitive. But one of the things that our Lenny Coltrane, I believe his name was, just pointed out, if you notice in that first quarter, on their opening drive, Philadelphia had 2 fourth downs, and Doug Peterson went for both of them, because he understands points wins the game. What a concept, right? Listen, Ron Rivera, we all want him to turn it on and be more aggressive, and I'm hoping that he's learning to do that more. I don't think that there's a lot of hope that he'll turn that around. But, man, when you see a coach like Doug Peterson believe in his offense to move down the field and put points on the board, you have to think that Tepper's looking at that.
This game at one point, we're feeling the elation of a comeback win, the excitement that goes with that, that euphoric feeling you get with the typical Cardiac Cats win. But when they go for it on 4th and 1, and they were down, this was where they go, and they ended up getting a touchdown, I'm pretty sure. And they were like right there on the goal line. They go for it. They not only get the 4th and 1. I said if they go for it on this right here, I think they were up 10-7, 10-0 at that point. And I said if they go up and get this right here and get this 4th down, that the Carolina the Panther Nation will collectively have a stroke. And and that is what happened. So this is the adulation right here of a 21-17 win. We just had a stroke a few minutes ago. I think people are just excited at this moment that we are speaking and we have some mobility in our arms afterwards.
Yeah. And at first, I didn't know much. I didn't see the previous tweet before that. So I didn't know if you were talking about yourself. Is Tony is my man Tony having a stroke right now?
Fast. Face droop. It's the Paul George commercial. Fast. Face drooping. Fast is the signs of a stroke. Face drooping, arm pain. What is it? S is slurred speech. And what is the other one?
You had me worried a little bit.
I know.
Man, but now
can somebody else put that? Just could you be being drunk, Joey? Are you back, Joey? If you want to comment, you can get in here right now and tell us. Do you think that the power of emotional win, the happiness and euphoria we get, can be enough to push the cloud of the Ron Rivera concerns away?
I think, here. I think it will do it for this week at least.
What an answer. What an answer. That is the truth. It's like until 1 quarter of bad play.
Right. The next quarter of bad play, we'll be calling for his job again. But, yeah. I mean, that's the life of a fan, man. That's why we are fans. We're fanatical. That's why we're fans.
All right. Well, here, let's go to the next call. Let's cue it up.
Yo. What's up, Cat Chronicles, man? Love the show. All right. I'm not going to be long. I am kind of a little bit, I guess, too many Hennessy and Cokes. But anyway. All right. Follow me on Twitter.
They go down.
Man, 804. I tweeted y'all about, I don't understand why we wait until we're down 17 points to wait to open up the field, spread the Eagles defense out, and start letting Cam do Cam. Like, trust me, I'm happy as ever that we won this game. I had 2 Eagles fans in my house watching the game. But like, I'm very happy, I'm saying that we won, but we have to let Cam do Cam. Like, our defense actually played decent today, but it's like, stop trying to hold Cam back. Just let Cam. Cam is our #1 offensive player. Let Cam do what he does. So do like how other coordinators do. give your quarterback 2 or 3 plays and let Cam choose what he sees when he's at the line. Let him choose what we should be in. That's all I'm saying. I'm happy we won. Keep pounding. Panthers were 4-2. We look good in the fourth quarter.
That's
so
right.
Can we keep that same energy? Please, let's just keep that same energy for the rest of the year and let Cam do Cam, let the offense roll, and stop holding them back. That's all I ask. But keep pounding, keep up the good work, and let's go. We got Baltimore next week. Let's whoop their ass. Let's go.
What a call there.
Let's go.
Cam, you know, there's a lot to that. And people that don't follow the Carolina Panthers may not understand exactly what that call is striking at when he says, let Cam be Cam. But Cam is a momentum player, too. So if you can boost his confidence a little by saying, hey, what you feel, go with it, that automatically will give him a little bit more juice than the downtime of, oh, he's mentioned how he hates how football calls are so complicated.
Yeah, he said that recently.
Yeah, and it's not that he can't understand them, folks. Don't worry, it's not that. It's just that they are ridiculous. And so really what he wants to just be like is this: zone block, wide receivers go, and me be me. But if you had 3 or 4 plays, like he's saying, where you don't have to be the entire playbook, but you see zone, this type of zone, this is what you want to roll with, you roll with it. You see man, you see what, right? And I think that could get Cam flowing a little bit. You wonder about how he's when I say a momentum player, maybe I really mean a rhythm player.
And you know, it's funny that you say that, Tony. I'm on Twitter right now, and Bill Voth tweets out, like Greg Olsen and Ryan Khalil before him, Cam Newton says the Panthers' edge is the no huddle. I see that right as you're saying that, man. So when you're talking about Cam not liking all these long sentences and all that other crap, yeah, man, listen, I think the tempo is something that we've been good at in the past, but we haven't seen enough of. And again, we've had 2 calls in a row of people saying, which I agree with, though, that Cam Newton, he makes a mediocre team look pretty damn good when you need the victory. And we've all known this for a long time, that Cam Newton, if you put the game in his hands, he will win the game for you. He will win it. You just have to let him have the opportunity to do so.
But kudos to some of the other guys on this squad right here.
Oh,
DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. Look, Christian McCaffrey's the toast of the town, bro. That's the thing, is that we've seen what Cam needed that help a little bit. He gave it to Christian McCaffrey on a dump-off play. You got a first down today, and that would have been – he wouldn't have wanted to do it before, and before he wouldn't have gotten the first down. I thought you saw how Curtis Samuel comes in there, and, man, he finds the end zone right away. DJ Moore is playing well. Funchess is playing well. So we are finally giving him at least some pieces, and we're not talking about AJ Green pieces, we're not talking about Todd Gurley pieces, but we're giving him at least some guys that can do something when the play either doesn't go right. And look, Jarvis Wright out there fighting hard. I want to say I have not. What is your feeling on Jarvis Wright, Cody? Because I don't know. I like him in so many ways. He seems to have so much tenacity, but I feel like he's also always begging for a flag too. Go out there and just catch the damn ball.
Yeah, I mean, okay, at the final play of the game in Washington, who was held, I will say that in my man's defense, but you know, I kind of think that, you know, we're weighing this back and forth. Are Jarius Wright and Torrey Smith, are they taking time away from DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel? That's my concern, you know, is that when you have these young, dynamic players that are clearly the most athletic receivers on your football team, let them play. That's what you have them for. And by the way, before I forget, there was one pass to Curtis Samuel. Man, he caught the ball, and there was no one around him. There was no one around him. The man makes separation. But in regards to Jarius, I have no qualms with his play.
Yeah.
It does feel as though every time he is catching the ball, it is moving the chains, and it is a meaningful play. I mean, they call him Mr. Third Down, and they do like him on those third down in between 6 and 4 yard plays to move the chains. And I really do think that he is good at keeping the defenses honest. So I have no problem with him as a player and what he's done. I just want to see more of our younger players eventually fill those roles out.
What we did see is continued evolution in that, and I think you're going to be satisfied in the end. I think that the Devin Funchess, Torrey Smith thing is a thing that is going to help to it's the opening moves of the season. We're starting to see a little bit more diversification with the talent. We see a diversification how we're using McCaffrey. This game, we finally saw McCaffrey moving out into a wide receiver position more. That's a different look that we have not seen this year. But for me, I saw one play that I go, all right, we got some hidden stuff. We have 4 wide receivers offset to the right, and it was like Funchess right, Curtis Samuel, and Torrey Smith. So we were or maybe DJ Moore, and Torrey wasn't in there. So, but the idea is there's still a lot to be done on this offense. The question is, will Cam have the time to be able to do it? And second, can we put it all together at once? Here are your calls. The number's 252-228-5098. Let's keep pounding.
Hey, guys. It's John from Philly. Just calling in and walking out of the stadium. Lost my voice a little bit, as you might imagine. Unfriggin' believable. And by the way, I only saw 1 beer thrown at Panthers fans during the whole game. So
success.
Good win.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my thing. Why can't we let Cam be Cam and play like that the whole freaking game? That's all I got to say. He's unbelievable. We have the talent. We have the team. We are not playing up to our potential. But a win's a win, baby. Let's go get them. Keep pounding.
2 calls in a row, Cody. Let Cam do more. Do you think we saw this? We finally saw Cam connect a little bit deeper and on some deeper passes today. They had to open it up by nature of the game. Do you see Cam being able to, or actually, what did you think about the Cam's day in the deep ball? Right? Is that seemingly like, I mean, I don't think it's something to be concerned about.
Quarterback rating of 101.3, 2 touchdowns to no interceptions, 25 of 39 for 269 yards on the day. Listen, man, I think that when you think back to that 2015 season, Cam was throwing bombs down the field. And even if they weren't in the end zone, man, it was stretching the field, flipping the field, especially when you're all the way back. Listen, I want Cam Newton throwing the deep ball. I feel our team is much more dangerous when he's able to do that. Now that you have the check down receivers, now that you have a Christian McCaffrey, now that you have a Jarius Wright and a Curtis Samuel, and they have the threat of the long ball as an option, and you know that Cam Newton can do it, listen, man, Cam Newton is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I will fight you if you say otherwise. I agree with everyone that's called in. Open up the playbook. Let Cam do this more and more in the first and second quarter, and I don't think we're having to play from behind.
It's coming, folks. It's coming. All right. Number's 252-228-5098. Let's keep pounding.
Yo, Panther Nation, this is Papa Brigham. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. I spent some time out in Seattle, but I'm from Wilmington, NC. First off, let me say, I'm sorry I didn't call last week. I was just too hurt after that Redskins loss, and I know y'all don't blame me. But
we're still hurt.
The game was crazy. I'm going to say first and foremost, we are the Cardiac Cat. Just do revival of the Cardiac Cat. Now, I don't know if that's going to end in the Super Bowl season, but I hope so. Kudos all around. Kudos to the team for not giving up. And that's one thing about the Panthers, man. Y'all going to watch our games. And we ain't going to get blown out. I mean, the Redskins game looked like a blowout, but we came back in the end. And we daggone sure came back in the end right now. So I just want to take out to the whole team, man. I really don't know what to say. We got a lot to work on. I don't know how to feel about Ron. Ron Rivera, everybody know this. Ron Rivera is the best coach that the Panthers have ever had. And you can deny it all you want, but you know that it's fact. So to say that we need to cut that man, I don't know. Look around the league. Finding a coach is a hard thing to do. We can't just sniff Ron Rivera and act like we're going to jump right back on the victory train. It just don't happen that easy. Yo, I want to say shout out to Funky. But Curtis Samuel needs to be the #1 wide receiver. We need more of him in this offense. North Carolina, you are learning slowly, but you are learning. Put Curtis Samuel in. Funky, I don't know, man. Maybe you ain't going to make the team next season. I hope so. I read an article that said he was ready to step up, but it don't look like it this game. I'm glad you caught that touchdown. Torrey Smith, it was clutch. You gave us fire. Had it not been for Torrey Smith, we would have never came back. And that's true. Eric Reed, that was a pick. Don't you tell me different. That was
Amen.
A pick. Shout to the D-line. The D-line ended that game for us. They smothered Carson Wentz. Now, I talk a lot of smack about everybody, but y'all know y'all need a Super Mario Anderson to come back. Yo, I'm happy that we won this game, but we got a whole lot to work on next week, and we're supposed to win. I just want to say, keep pounding. We beat the Eagles in the Eagles' territory. Well. Peace.
My man, what a call. Man, we have had some phenomenal calls from top to bottom. I think that covers the entire game. Going from this, the range of emotions about Ron Rivera, Cody, I think there could be, there's a lot to that call there, is that you look around the league and you just saw people calling for the Panthers to get Mike McCoy as an offensive coordinator over this past offseason. He's been fired already by the Arizona Cardinals. Sure, you can point to the coaching tree that Ron Rivera has produced as not necessarily being great at this moment, but the Panthers have been relevant for every year. I think there's something to be said about being able to stick in a game and not get blown out there. I don't know how much the coach has to do with that, Cody, but you have mentioned halftime several times in this show. So I do think it would be a little bit premature to start thinking about Ron Rivera on the hot seat until we understand what happens coming out of this season and out of this moment.
Yeah, it depends on the season, and it depends on if Ron Rivera's decisions continue to cut us off at the knees. If they do, he might be on the hot seat. But if Riverboat Ron returns to all his former glory or whatever the hell, yeah, then maybe he has a chance to stay. I like John DeFilippo. He's the offensive coordinator out of Minnesota. There are people out there, but listen, it is a good point that, you know, it takes a lot to get the right head coach, and then they go places, and then you miss out on some, and you're able to get others. You know, I agree with Nirvash, who just wrote in the chat that we could unleash Cam with an offensive-minded head coach. And I think that you've noticed that when quarterbacks have a great offensive mind, they're able to flourish, you know. And but listen, to Norv Turner's credit, Norv Turner, he's had some ups and downs, but his ups have been much higher than Mike Shula's ups have been, and noticeably so.
Yes, Norv Turner's been the man so far. We've been telling you that was going to happen. I do think if we want to look at any question marks when it comes to Ron Rivera here, guys, is that understandably the offense will be sculpted and shaped by the offensive coordinator. In that, because that's not Ron Rivera's gig. But right now, the question marks, I think, is that we've looked at a defense that has not looked especially sharp at times. So if there's any, I think, shade being thrown on Ron Rivera, it's as bad as it is that we got to start looking at that. What happens? Imagine this, imagine if we had an offensive coach, Cody, to the tune of an Andy Reid or somebody like that, and where he has let a coordinator call the plays. At this point in the season, you're struggling, things are not coming together. Often you would see the head coach take over the play calling in that case and say, hey, I'm taking over here. Now, on defense, would you expect Ron Rivera to do something if Eric Washington is the heart of this problem, which so many people have said, which I am not ready to jump on that bandwagon yet? would you expect Ron Rivera to be the guy that steps in there?
I don't think you're ever going to see Ron Rivera make a fire in the middle of the season. Because I think if you would have seen it with Mike Shula in 2016, and you didn't see it then. It took another year for that to even be able to happen after 2017. I don't think that Ron Rivera is ever going to make a fire in the middle of the season. I kind of agree with Nirvash. I think Rivera might not be bad as the defensive coordinator. I don't think he's ever going to take a demotion, but it would just depend on a lot of different things. But, I'm with you, Tony. I'm not on the Eric Washington is the reason we have all these problems. Keep in mind, there are 3 brand new coaches on our defense right now. I believe the number is 3. Yeah, we have a brand new defensive line coach, linebackers coach, and we had a last-minute shuffle at the defensive back position. So I do think that you're kind of seeing some of the confusion bore out on the field, and I think that's kind of what you're seeing. But yeah, I'm not ready to sell the ship on Eric Washington. If Julius Peppers endorses the man, then I think they would need to give him a little bit of leeway to turn it around.
We'll see, because the defense has been suspect. For me, I think the one thing is that I can say, hey, the pass rush hasn't gotten home enough. But for me, when people are starting to run the ball on us for first downs, it really hurts my heart.
And it's so annoying, man, because we've always been so good at
yeah,
that.
I'm not used to that. All right, the number's 252-228-5098. It's a C3 Panthers at Eagles post-game show. Guys, we're live on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. where we have the longest-running Panthers podcast out there. We would appreciate your support. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button if you're watching on YouTube. You want to just – all you got to do is take your phone, turn it from landscape, minimize my ugly mug, and hit a thumbs up. It helps us a lot. Here's the next call.
Hey, man, this is Tony. I'm calling you from London, England.
Wow!
Yo!
I'm just
What's
really,
up, mate?
really happy about it, the win, but I think we're a little bit crap, I don't know, man. I feel like we could play better. We should play better. Just simple things, bro. It feels like last week. You know what I mean? It feels like we're playing like we're virgins. We need to do better, and I think it's mostly on the offense. To be honest,
so good.
I don't want to blame our defense so much because they work their butts off, but the offense, man, needs to get their act together. Our quarterback needs to figure out how to complete throws, man. I know I love him, but I'm just gonna say how it is. He needs to just do better. You know what I mean? But otherwise, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. Yeah, cheers, man. Cheers.
That's Tony from London. What a call there from top to bottom. First, I appreciate that call because it probably cost them $3.75 to make, given the international calling fees. To call in like that, that's amazing. Second, there's a lot to that here, is that, look, you're excited about this win, but the Panthers have not played to their potential. It's been a theme of this show so far. While we pull it out, and I think this is where the Ron Rivera crowd gets their credibility from, and I'm glad not a single person. I'm going to tell you this, Cody, if anybody says that the Panthers deserved to lose this game, they're not allowed to come back on the show. Is that on that deserve to win, deserve to talk? No. Is that you either win or you lose, and you either got screwed or you didn't screwed, but we did the screwing here. We were the virgins that got some, brother. That's what we were. We looked clumsy and klutzy, but we walked away smiling. That girl may have been disappointed, but we walked away with a grin on our face.
Yeah, man. Okay, so one, cheers to Tony from across the pond. We're international now, baby. Let's go. But listen, I just saw something flash on my screen that I did want to mention before we move on. Cam Newton passes Mike Vick for the most first down rushes by a quarterback in NFL history. So that's another notch on Cam Newton's hat. But yeah, like I feel that the sentiment of Tony's call with us being virgins is that we looked as if we didn't know what we're doing. Where does this go? I do what with what now? You know, it was a little bit clumsy to say the least. But I think once we got in the rhythm, you know, listen, it's the motion of the ocean, as they say. Okay,
is that what you told her? That's the motion of the ocean, baby.
That's the motion of the ocean, man. And at the end, okay, we were underwater, but then we just started surfing, man. We were surfing out there.
Hey,
so
last week we talked about this. Last week that we made fun of Ron Rivera talking about if you could just hold it a little longer.
Yeah.
Hold it a little longer. We've made the Thomas. We've made the Thomas Davis coming back as going to be our little blue pill, and now we're the happy virgins. We are no longer virgins. We've lost our virginity, and you know what?
Yeah.
And in your disappointment, young lady, is my glory.
Popping cherries, baby.
Lady Philly. I am smiling. Here we go. The C3 podcast, numbers 252-228-5098.
Hey, Cody. This is J-Dub, and I love you to death. You got to stop that taking for the draft crap, man. I've been a fan since '93. We haven't had back-to-back winning seasons, and we need to do that first. I'd rather have sustained success, so just had to get that out. Keep pounding. Good win, Panthers. We don't quit.
Good win. We don't quit. We keep on pounding. What I meant when I was saying that is I didn't want another season that just justified doing the same old.
Yeah.
If we need to have a change, I want our season to indicate that there needed to be a change. I would never ever advocate this team to tank for a draft pick ever as long.
Well,
as
I think that's what Oakland. I finally figured it out. Is that I was just slow on figuring out what Oakland was doing. They're tanking right now to get like 3 number 1 draft picks when they start in Las Vegas. Imagine the excitement surrounding 3 first-round draft.
Yeah, they want Nick Bosa and Cleveland Farrell.
But it's pretty clear. I mean, and we all know. And he's just giving you a hard time. So people, if you don't know the show, J-Dub's just giving Cody a hard time. What we all know Cody is saying here too is that it's easier to take a blowout loss than it is a 1-point loss. It would have been much easier for us to lose from 17-0. Imagine how Philadelphia fans feel right now losing 21-17. You know, that's torment. And that's where the Panthers have kind of put us and Cody is a draft guy. That's what he is. He's a draft guy, and he's scouting it out, and he's always starting in the orange. There's players in orange down there in Clemson. That's what he's looking at. But at the same time, is that middle of the pack is tough to make a big difference. We need to make a big difference on defensive end. We need to make a big difference at left tackle. We're going to need a guy either that is a steal or we're going to get a guy that is a high-end player. And in the other case, that affects our season. We got to just win the damn Super Bowl. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm a draft guy, but I'll take the 32nd pick in the draft every damn day, man. There's nothing else to say about that. I think the Philadelphia Eagle, or the eagle in general, is a bird that can transmutate and morph. Because they turned into the Falcons, baby. They blew a 4th quarter lead. How about that? we were never playing Philadelphia. We were playing Atlanta the whole time. How about that?
The birds of prey, man. We're good with dealing with them. Guys, this has been a fantastic show. Let me see. Oh, you know what we need to do? This is what we got. We got a couple of things we still got left. I know Joey had to run. But here we go. Is that we need to get that player of the week. That's what we're going for. Let's do this, Cody.
I just like doing it, man. Dab on them folks. Dab on them folks. Dab on them folks. They like seeing it. Tell me what to do. Dab on them folks.
All right, Cody. This is time where we hand out our game footballs, where we dab on the competition. We give them our player of the games. I'm going to jump in there. My guy is Christian McCaffrey.
Nice.
Christian McCaffrey is that one of the things that and look, somebody's going to go back and probably watch our draft stuff and be like, well, you wanted Fournette, and this and that. Christian McCaffrey, I always thought had a big play potential, right? Is that the guy that could make some explosive plays for you. But what Christian McCaffrey has shown for us through 7 weeks of this season, basically, is that he is not only that, but he is a production lunch pail worker. Christian McCaffrey comes to work. He punches the time card. He goes in there, runs it. He gets hit late every time. Mugs are trying to hit him late out of bounds. Every time I'm looking at this, I think guys are going at his knees. Now I don't know if they're trying to avoid his head, and his knees and his head are pretty close together because he's so little. But Christian McCaffrey gets up every time, back to work, punches the time clock. That mug produces each and every week. He's been phenomenal for this team. Christian McCaffrey, you're a beast. And I'm going to say this, keep dabbing on him. Boom. Cody, who you got?
Bam. Listen, mine is right on the money. It's easy. I feel there were a few that I could have gone with today. But listen, man, the originator himself, I'm going to let Cam Newton dab on them folk today. Because listen, man, I said it before. I'll say it again. I'll say it from now until the end of time. Cam Newton is one of the very best quarterbacks in the NFL. And I don't just mean it running the football. I mean in all avenues of the game. Cam Newton is one of the best. Cam Newton made some incredible throws at the end. Hey, he missed some. He didn't start too hot, but it's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. I love that man. To all the fans that hate on him and talk about accuracy, one, I question if you're even a fan at all. But number two, there's going to be a day when Cam Newton is no longer under center. And I'm telling you now, you will rue that day when Cam Newton is not a Carolina Panther and we're having to go through the quarterback carousel and having to find someone to push the team forward down the field. He's been a leading rusher. He's passing the football. He's having his best season on record. Cam Newton is the MFing man. I love him. To Cam Newton, dab on them.
Just a little heads up. The Saints are losing to Baltimore 10-7 at the half, which puts us is that the Carolina Panthers going into this week were 4-2, correct? No. 3-2 going into.
We're 4-2 now.
Right, they're 4-1 with the potential of also being 4-2. We could be tied for the division lead here, folks. Let's go Baltimore for 1 week. We're cheering for the Ravens. Until then, we're eating more birds next week. Guys, Cody, we got to get out of here. C3 Panthers post-game show has been phenomenal. Been a ton of people, a ton of people in the calls, a ton of people in the chat room. We're going to be here on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live. Not only chopping up this victory, but we also got Benjamin Solik, who writes for the SB Nation and the Eagles side, but he did a phenomenal work on North Turner and the things that he's done for the Panthers offense prior to this week. I was able to land him as a guest. We want to see what he saw from the Panthers offense. I guess we're going to have to just say, what'd you see in the fourth quarter, bro? That helped us. But we're going to have him trying to assess this win on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. We'll have more of your calls. The Cat Calls line is 252-228-5098. My name's Tony Dunn. You can follow me at @Cat_Chronicles. Cody Lashney, how can they find you on Twitter?
At CODYLAC on Twitter. Hit me up. I love to respond to the fans, sending me questions. We have so many brand new cat calls. I love it. All the fan support has been just absolutely heartwarming. But guys, I wanna throw something out there. Tune in this Tuesday, and Tony knows what I'm talking about. Your boy, the YouTube champion,
uncovering a mystery,
might have some inside information about something very cool and important about the Carolina Panthers. And I'm being real here. I'm not blowing smoke. Tune in this Tuesday. There's an announcement that I have about some information that I have come across that tells us something about the Panthers that we're all going to love, that we're all going to enjoy, and it helps to maybe open up some eyes on what's going on with the Panthers this season.
Let me just say, this is going to be a prime reveal right here when it comes to what Cody. Look, we're here fans. We're not here for company. We're not in here for secrecy. We're in here to expose the greatest fan experience there is. And it's going to happen on Tuesday night as we continue to fuel the rumor mill on the #1 Panthers podcast, the C3 Panthers podcast, brought to you by Carolina Cat Chronicles, where every week we're winning.
Your anger and your hate, I think, is coming off as erratic to people.
Passion, my passion. It's all
okay,
passion.
Your passion is coming off as erratic
right.
to people.
Well, you borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it. Unplug this bastard. Yeah, because it fires in a way that is, I don't know, maybe not from this particular
C3 Panthers podcast. See you Tuesday night, 9 p.m.
Moments where a guy like crashes in the corner.